Hi, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca of the Pinpoint 12 Forecast Center. You've clicked on the Weather Now link. It's about 9:30, almost 9:45 on a Monday night. We still have that winter weather advisory in effect for the areas in purple just about everywhere except Cape Cod, the islands, and Block Island. It goes into effect 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday through 1 p.m. in the afternoon, though it may get extended a little beyond that, especially across our northern suburbs. So I would call this a winter storm, but I wouldn't call it a snowstorm just for the simple fact that, A, this won't be a tremendous amount of snow, and it's not just snow. It's really going to be a variety of precipitation types. I'm actually getting more concerned about the potential for sleet and even freezing rain, more so than the snow, but we'll get some small accumulations of snow as well. There's really a little bit of everything on the way, and the problem here is, it's bad timing for the morning commute. So here's the breakdown. Late tonight, now we're talking after midnight, between roughly 1 and 3 a.m., the shield of snow is working in. Small accumulations are likely as that snow initially approaches. Now on Tuesday morning, it's really kind of a transition day from snow over to ice and rain. So early in the morning, it's a couple of hours worth of perhaps heavy snow before we start to switch over to sleet, which are the little pellets of ice that bounce on the hood of your car, and eventually freezing rain, which is plain rain that freezes as it falls into the cold air. It creates a glaze of ice. As we get deeper into the morning towards afternoon, the freezing rain is changing to plain rain, at least in areas closer to the coastline. But the problem is that during the afternoon, it may be hard to scour out some of the cold air, so we may still be dealing with lingering frozen precipitation, especially in our northern suburbs. So the impacts, well, certainly high impact in terms of travel just because of the variety of precipitation types. The concern is, of course, for a couple of inches of snow followed by some ice on top of that. Wind is not an issue, but mixed precipitation will be. All right, here's the satellite and radar composite. Now we're taping this as of almost 9:45. See the leading edge of the precipitation now just entering New York City and out towards New Jersey, but this moisture extends all the way back through the Midwest and into the Gulf Coast, and this is all streaming north and east overnight tonight through Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon. So we'll get a more detailed look at this. So we'll walk you through it hour by hour. Let's get rid of my picture here for a second. There we go. Starting off at about 11 o'clock. Now, keep in mind, the colors represent precipitation type. Blue is snow. There it is overnight. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Pink is sleet and freezing rain. And that's the precipitation setup, kind of like a layered cake here. Snow, northern, this is what time? 7 o'clock in the morning. The commute is starting. Snow in northern portions. To the south of that, sleet, freezing rain. Then right along the immediate shoreline, it looks like it's kind of like a plain rain. And then here we are in the afternoon, or actually late morning, 10 a.m., all that pink is sleet and freezing rain. You don't see a lot of blue. Green is the rain in the South Shore. And then during the mid-afternoon around 3 o'clock, it's mostly rain, though probably some pockets of icing still lingering in the northwest corner of the state. Now, as this system pulls away, it's going to tug back onto some colder air. So by later tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, we may transition back over to some snow showers. Snowfall amounts really not that excessive here. Slushy coating to about an inch along the immediate shoreline, and that blue area, which is really most of our viewing area, as little as 1 to as much as 3. I mean, if I had to put my money on this right now, I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches of snow in that blue zone, and up to 3, maybe 4, but up to 3 in that purple zone in the far northwest corner of the state. And keep in mind, that's not a lot, considering, we've had obviously storms worse than that. But it doesn't take much to cause some slippery and difficult travel. And then when you throw ice on top of that, it's a real pain in the neck. So you want to be extra careful in the morning, slow travel speeds, poor visibility. Let's take a look at the ice accumulations. This is a real tricky part of of all things that we predict in the wintertime, trying to predict the amount of ice is difficult, just for the simple fact that you really have to have the right temperature structure near the ground and high above near the clouds. And quite simply, the clouds above our heads are warmer and it's producing rain, but near the ground, the temperatures are still cold. And the net result is you get this glaze of ice. Now, just how long we get the freezing rain will dictate how much of this ice accretion we get on tree limbs and power lines. So let me show you some file pictures. You can see like this particular tree limb. It looks like I don't know, that might be a quarter inch, maybe a third of an inch of ice encased in that little branch. That adds a tremendous amount of weight. So if we end up getting quarter inch, third of an inch of ice, some of these limbs are going to start to sag. And you get this on your car and things like that. So freezing rain is is no joke. You don't have to shovel it, but boy, it's really tough as far as frozen locks, tree limbs. Sometimes these branches come down. Of course, in very extreme ice storms, you have complete failure of limbs and trees and power lines. I don't see an extreme ice storm, but I mean, some of these limbs and power lines could come down, at least in a sporadic kind of a situation. So we're going to watch that situation very closely. Here we are early in the morning, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Steady snow going over to sleet and some freezing rain. Temperatures starting in the upper 20s to low 30s. I think during the afternoon it's mostly rain, but there may be some pockets of freezing rain north and west of Providence. Temperatures going up into the middle 30s, and then we'll end as just light snow showers and flurries tomorrow night as cold air comes back in. It will be cold enough for mainly light snow showers. Wednesday's interesting. Now, most of the day is dry on Wednesday, but an Arctic cold front may produce a quick snow squall by late day and early evening, almost like in the summertime when you get a quick shower or thunderstorm with the approach of a cold front. Only this time, the wintertime version is a quick snow squall by Wednesday evening. And what that'll do is usher in some very cold air. Look at Thursday and Friday. Daytime highs in the 20s. Wind chills are going to be a big factor on Thursday. They'll be close to 0 Thursday morning. Very cold on Friday. Both of those days are dry. And then Saturday and Sunday, temperatures slowly moderate. So wrapping it up, messy weather arrives overnight after midnight through tomorrow, especially during the morning. Precipitation type is very location dependent as far as snow, sleet, freezing rain. I think everyone gets a mix of everything. But where we get the freezing rain kind of maybe lingering a little bit longer, that concern for some ice accretion on tree limbs and power lines. So we're going to watch that situation closely. Regardless of whether you get an inch of snow, 2 inches of snow, it's a frozen mixture of everything that's going to make travel difficult on surfaces that are not treated or plowed or sanded. So extra travel time, slower travel speeds, some poor visibility for the morning commute. And check back on our website, too. There's been a couple of delays so far, but some superintendents may actually wait until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning to make that final call. So you want to check our newscast in the morning or check our website. All right, that's the latest Weather Now update. Thanks for logging in. We'll talk to you soon.